And we are live. Hey, good morning, 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're getting our podcast at 5 a.m. every day. We're keeping that up and appreciate all the listeners who download our podcast on a daily basis. Thank you all. And this 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show, I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And today I want to talk about the Scrum value of courage in the Scrum Events +1. Why do I say Scrum Events +1? Because I'm going to add an event that's not in the Scrum guide. So I'm going to call it +1. How about that? So courage in the Scrum Events. We're going to talk about today. And this is the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And here we talk about Scrum and Agile in a practical, tactical way. So you can get your value to your customer, not work those crazy hours, get home to family and friends, and have a little fun. And I had to apologize for yesterday. Finally got into my new job system yesterday, so it was kind of hectic. A lot of things going on. Never really got around to doing a show yesterday, but we're back, and I keep that going as I figure out what the schedule is and all that, and how it may change around a little bit more with the schedule for the new place, and everything looks good. Looks like it's going to be a fun gig. A lot of good people, a lot of good Agile people to hang around with and talk and banter ideas and concepts. So we'll see how that goes. So, courage. So last week, I was lucky enough to go attend Gunther's session on Scrum Values, which I'm going to attend again in the fall because I was kind of distracted with the transition from jobs. So I was in there half of it, but there was a lot of good stuff. I enjoyed having that discussion with other Agile people about Scrum Values and parts of Scrum. I enjoyed that. I want to capture that as a way when we do our 5 a.m. Mester Scrum meetup group, that we do that too. So values, courage in the Scrum Events +1. +1, by the way, is the refinement session. So that's the one I go +1 because they didn't make that event, but I'm like, we kind of do it anyhow. So why do I say courage in Scrum Events? Because there's a bunch of values in Scrum, and we're going to focus on courage today, and we will go from there. Maybe we'll hit once a week a different value. So courage, sprint planning. So where do you need courage in sprint planning? The courage to say no. The courage to say there's enough in the backlog. We're good. We shouldn't take more work. We don't want to commit to more. We want to make sure we meet our sprint goal. So you got to watch that. So that's in sprint planning, the courage to say no. Daily Scrum. You're like, what do you need courage for daily Scrum, Greg? We just sit there and talk. The courage to admit that you're blocked or you can't figure something out and you need help from your coworkers, right? That takes a lot of courage. People think, oh, we just say it. Nah, it takes a lot for people to actually admit that they can't fix something and solve the problem on their own and they need people's help. So that takes courage to do it. And I give kudos to the developers, testers, people on a team who say, I'm stuck. I need your help. Can someone help me with getting this past the blocker? You have my utmost respect. The sprint review. We talked about this many times. What do you think they're going to do in the sprint review? The courage to let the customer run the software during the sprint review. That takes a lot of courage. There's not many teams that have the courage to do that. Once they get there, it's easy. And they become high-performing teams, by the way. If you're not letting your customer use the software, I don't think technically you can call yourself a high-performing team. It's just my opinion. All right. Retro. Courage. Where would courage? There's lots of places courage could be. My take on it is that you admit that we have an issue. We admit that we're not doing something to get us to the optimal performance. We admit we have a conflict that's going on in our team. That takes courage to do that. Not many teams. A lot of teams like to go, oh, everything was super pretty. We're good. You know, that's what they say. So, I mean, everything went well. We were super. We were never bad. So it takes courage to admit that, one, there could have been some bad thing. Two, there are things that can improve. Then maybe three, there was some conflict. And maybe there's stuff we don't know and we need to explore it and to get better at it. So it takes a lot of courage during that. So you see all those values, people like, what are these values? These are just samples of where they apply. Now, you as a Scrum Master and as a coach can have great fun taking each one of these values and explore the events. Where does it play? And Gunther had a whole different take on it too, with different things too. So it was totally different from what I'm doing. And then the last one, sprint refinement. And you're like, what? It takes courage for a developer to show up and go to sprint refinement and not work on the code. Maybe. Because they're like, I'm not being productive. No. What takes courage? Their product owner. You think I was going to leave out that poor little product owner? So the product owner has to have courage. It takes a lot of courage. Can you imagine standing up in front of 5, 6, 7, 8 people, sometimes 12, depending how big the teams are, right? I mean, let's be realistic. I've seen 12. I've seen 14. I've seen 18. One time they went to 21. I'm like, what are you doing? I had to come in. So anyway, in the sprint refinement, so you're this lonely little important Scrum product owner or little product owner. And you have to generate a story that meets the definition ready for the team setup and present that to the team. You have to do that every week during your sprint refinement session. It takes a lot of guts to do that. People say, the product owner has an easy job. Can you imagine? I mean, come on. You're a developer, you write code, or you're a tester, and standing in front of your teammates every week showing what you got for them to do and for them to critique you. It takes a lot of courage, right? So even in sprint refinement for the product owner, there is courage associated with, I'm going to present these set of stories that I want to cover during this refinement session. Hopefully just a couple, so we're not in there for 5 hours. So this is a couple, like under an hour. And we're going to refine these. I'm going to respond to those. I met your definition ready. The team's definition ready. I think they're good to go. I have a couple things I just want your feedback on. It takes a lot of courage to be able to do that. So there you go. A little bit of courage for everyone. Oh, and courage for the Scrum Master. Let's go, but let's hit the Scrum Master. Courage for the Scrum Master to stay out of daily Scrum, to stay out of the sprint review, to stay out of the retro. Well, you can't stay out of the retro. You're in the retro. The review, daily Scrum, refinement. All you're doing is facilitating. So courage, keep your mouth shut. But encourage to say, to identify things that are missing, and courage to bring that to that person's attention, probably after the event, maybe sometimes during the event, and having the courage to say it in a way that does not belittle the person. So that's what I wanted to cover today. A nice light topic, courage, Scrum Events +1. And I want to wish you all happy Scrumming. Third day for my new job. Wish me luck. Please give us a thumbs up if you like the show. If you have any questions about starting new jobs, transitioning, or anything like that, I would just say on your first day, be patient with these computer systems. There's a lot of things. What I am finding is that companies, this is the same everywhere, have lots of software. They're not all totally, truly integrated. They try to integrate them. Sometimes the integration doesn't work right. But I will say one thing. People and infrastructure setting and getting people on have really improved big time. Each company, it has elevated their game to the next level of getting people rolled on as soon as possible. So with that, please give us a ring in the bell. 1, 2, so that you get notification when we go live. And with that, I wish you happy Scrumming and a happy day. Take care. See you tomorrow. And bye.